y'all? So this song is called Thunderbird. It's really cool because they just use basic right-hand patterns that repeat and go over chord shapes, and then the rhythms that mesh with each other are really, really, really cool. So I'm going to teach you all the parts of this song. There's basically two sections of the song, section A and a section B. We'll start with the lead parts of each, okay? Here comes the lead part. I'll play it one more time and then I'll teach you how to do it. So that's the lead part of section A. It's just a right-hand pattern that's going like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3. So just notice that right hand. 1 and 2 and 3. It's just going thumb, index, middle, thumb, index, middle. Counted 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 once you get that, you just have to go through the chord shapes, which I'll show you on this round through. So it starts with this one. Like this. Again. Change. Back to the first one. And then it goes to this G minor chord. This happens a lot from section to section. Okay, let's go over the rhythm guitar part of the B section next. Now the B section's a little bit different because it has 8 bars, and then it has this section that adds 2 bars occasionally. Okay, so let's try that out here. So it starts from this chord here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3. Then it goes to this. And then it repeats that section over and over again, okay? Let's go over the lead part on top of that. Right-hand pattern is the same as from before. Chord shapes are a little bit different. And then it always goes back to this one. Oops. Turn that on. Always comes back up to this little G minor chord. These are the chord shapes. When I get to the G minor chord, they always just kind of hold it. So again. There's another little part that he adds here like this. So that little pattern where he goes from here, and then he does this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, back to that first one. Remember, it's that right-hand pattern stays the same. I'll play it with the right-hand pattern. Okay? So that's basically the parts of the song. Let's stop this loop. No? And let me teach you the rhythm guitar part. So the rhythm guitar, just like the lead guitar, it has the same right-hand pattern over and over again. It's not the same as the lead part, but once you get the pattern, you just can change the chord shapes, and then you've got the whole thing. So it sounds like this. Let's learn the pattern over this first chord shape. Okay, so put your pinky here on the 5th fret of the A string, and then your first finger on the second fret of the G string, okay? And now we're in drop D. If you haven't already put your guitar in drop D, it's time to go to drop D. So the pattern looks like this. Let me break that down. The thumb is going like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So notice we're slapping on beat 4. And the slap is just with the thumb coming down. And I'll talk about the tone and how it gets that cool tape echo later at the end of the video. But that's the pattern. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Okay. And then the index finger is alternating in between almost every one of those hits like this. But it doesn't do it every single time. It leaves off that one beat like you can follow on the tab here. Okay, so I'll play it slowly. Once you get that pattern, let's just go through the different chord shapes now. So it starts with this one. Then go to this one. Switch. That's the whole section A that's just going to repeat. Let's talk about section 2, or let's talk about section B now. The second section. Section B comes from this chord, but it actually starts here, there. And then that would repeat again. Now, earlier I mentioned section B has 8 bars only. So the section A has 12 bars, section B has 8 bars, but occasionally they're going to add they're going to add 2 extra bars of this chord. To go back into section A. So the whole map of the song looks like this. Section A, B, B plus 2, that's plus those 2 measures of that chord I just showed you. Back to the A section, then B, B, B plus 2, those 2 measures again, to the ending, which is a little bit different. I'll show you the ending. Ending, again, is going to come from right before those 2 extra bars of this chord. Then back to this chord. And then they end it just like that. So we just have this chord that looks like this, to this one, to this one, and then they're just gonna end it like that and just stop playing. So those are all the parts of the song. So now I'm just gonna show you a little bit about the tone that I'm using for each of the parts. They're basically identical except for the lead guitar part. I'm switching to the lead guitar input and on my guitar to get like a brighter tone. And then also the lead guitar has a faster tremolo. Okay, so that's like tremolo and chorus in it. So it's got faster. Let me show you that and we'll jump into my computer now. Okay, so just taking a look at the tone stuff. We have 2 different tones. Now, like I said, I think it's important to try to switch the pickup selector here, because the tone is like that, or, you know, one's brighter. You can hear, or, right? It's a little bit brighter tone. So let's start with the rhythm guitar one. Basically, both of these are exactly the same, except we have a little bit more vibrato for the lead tone. So I'll show you what we have. So we have this twang. This is in Guitar Rig 7. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good amp simulator, virtual amp simulator. But I don't think, it's not the best one, but it works pretty good. I really like using it, and it's easy on the computer for the most part. So this starts with a twang reverb. So a twang reverb is a amp type. It's just a generic type amp, and it says that it's modeling the rich tube sound of a classic amp from the 60s. So you can see where I have the bass, mids, and treble settings here, kind of boosted on the highs a little bit. And I actually don't have much reverb. It's just a tiny bit of reverb. If you can, let me turn off this other stuff so you can hear what each thing does. Okay, so this is the amp sound now. Just the amp, okay? Just a tiny bit of reverb. You can hear that spring reverb in there. This is what it would sound like with all the other effects, okay? So that's just the amp by itself. The next is just a little bit of compression. I think this is also boosting the signal, and I've got it at a half mix about. And it's actually not doing much. You can see that the gain reduction meter is kind of barely moving. Not moving much, and it's a half mix, so not really using that much. Next is the vintage vibrato setting. So this one is the setting for the lead guitar one, and it's really, you know, pretty, it's on a full mix. That's the only difference between these two. This is the one for lead. I have it with 100% mix, and it sounds like this. Okay, and that's without the echo and stuff too, but with the kind of lower mix, 30% mix here, it sounds like this. Okay, so the next thing is, this is a cabinet simulator, and it also has a little bit of room tone, and really it's 86% cabinet, 14% room is what I've got. And that just gives it, this is what it sounds like without, and then with. Kind of just gives it a little bit more room sound and makes it sound a little bit more authentic to a real amp, I think. Right? And this is the big thing. This is the number one thing that gives it the real tone. A tape echo. So it's tape echo and reverb. This is just based off the classic tape echo unit that everybody uses, everybody used to use. And it sounds awesome. It's like a really cool echo type sound, but it also has a little bit, just a tiny bit of echo, but also mostly this verb sound, which is the spring reverb. And that's what gives it that really kind of vibey sound. So this is the whole thing. And then if I want the lead sound, I switched these two, so it's like that, and then I also make sure to switch to the treble pickup on my guitar. So that's it. So that's the whole, that's all that's going on with the tone.